Welcome to the Savvy Event Planner Podcast, where insightful tips, strategies, tactics, and case studies can help inspire you to engage guests and create successful events. And now, here's your host, Tom Crowell.
I want to provide you with the best content on event planning that I can. And today's guest is going to help me do just that. For the past 25 years, this man has worked for the world's largest mouse. He's going to share some tips and insights that he's experienced to help you create better experiences for your guests. Let's welcome to the show, James Songster.
My career at Walt Disney World took a different path. That said, I also think I should make it quite clear that according to the rules of this game, the ideas and opinions expressed by James Songster during this podcast do not reflect those of the Walt Disney World Company, its family of businesses, or subsidiaries. They were experiencing something that so many of us experience when we look for services or people that do things for us, which is the person in front of me has an agenda. The person behind that counter has to run a register. The person who's serving my food needs to get me processed so they can turn their table over and they can get the next customer in there. And while we're all trying to provide customer service, it really is just about going through the motions of how do I take care of this person as quickly and as efficiently as possible so I can go on to the next thing, the next person that needs to be done. If that's what's happening there, how often do we do that basically in all of our endeavors? And we built, for my group, Magic and Mayhem Show or Magic and Mayhem Productions, we built a seminar that we call the 5 Basic Keys to Guest Service. Guest service comes down to 5 basic steps. Step number 1, look at me. Make eye contact with me. Somebody walks in and they walk up to the counter and there's somebody talking on the phone or you're running the register. How often have you, even at a fast food joint, you go up to the person at the counter and they're talking to you or at you, but they never actually make eye contact with you? They couldn't describe you afterwards if they had to. So step number 1, look at me. Actually acknowledge my presence by seeing me. Step number 2 is then smile at me. Let me know that I'm not just another thing that you have to do or an inconvenience that you need to overcome so that you can go on with whatever it is. So look at me, smile at me. Step number 3, listen to me. Many, many times when somebody walks up to you, they engage in a conversation with you, you're already processing. You already have jumped to, oh, I've heard this request. I've heard this situation. I've heard this before. And you preemptively jump to what you're going to do that's going to take care of whatever it is that they need. Listen to what this person has to say, because that right there is 80% of everything that you'll ever need to do. Let them know that you're listening by A, telling them back what you heard them say. Don't presume you know what they said. Communication means that the message isn't message said, message is message received. Make sure you received the message that they were trying to deliver by telling them what you heard. Listen to them. Step number 4, thank them. Let them know that you are glad that you had that opportunity to meet them, to talk to them. And then step number 5, they weren't just a random event in your life. They weren't just another number or statistic, which means you need to remember them. And if you just keep those 5 simple steps in place, look at me, smile at me, listen to me, thank me, and remember me, your guest service will increase exponentially because you're no longer treating somebody like a task.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Event Planner Podcast at savvyeventpodcast.com.